Hey guys, Chelsea here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the next updates coming out, but more or less I'm going to be talking kind of like my theories on what will be added to the campaign next for Normandy. Now, I do know the Pacific's coming out, and I'm basically going to be speculating kind of more or less what's coming out. Now, to put it into perspective, I think it was like a while back, Darkflower announced that they said, oh, each of the major campaigns will have 40 levels. So yeah, so I'm only going to do a maximum of 3, and these are just the things I think make the most sense for Normandy, in my opinion, as these are the things that are pretty much needed for both sides. I'm pretty much going to be covering what I think will be added, and more or less how I think they'll be added. That being said, Let's start with what I think will be added first, and yeah, work on that. The first thing I think will be added, so I've got 3 ideas at the moment, and that is there's 2 infantry squads, and in fact and it's another squad. It's actually not a squad; it's a vehicle actually. So, and I think that vehicle is going to be the final unlock for the campaign. Now, of course, excluding any kind of progression rework, which I think, of course, they need to have a progression rework almost ASAP. So, we'll start with what I think will be for the first one. I think will be actually the medic class being added to Normandy. Now, I know. Medics were not beloved in Stalingrad. In fact, they were pretty much hated in Stalingrad. And, well, other than me, obviously. But I think that this would be a perfect opportunity to add the medics to Normandy. And either that or they add in the medics preretrally, kind of, in a way. So, like, let's say when you're unlocking something like, engineers, you get an additional medic squad, and then this one be a medic 2 squad, for example. That's just an idea. That's just a theory, but honestly, I think it could work like that. But either way, that'll be a medic squad, either a medic 1 or a medic 2 squad. I don't see it being used often, but hey, it would be more of a way to make the campaigns more unified across elements. Now, obviously, medics use SMG, so that means there's going to be an SMG. Now, for my pick, I'm actually going with 2 SMGs, both already in the game. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, he's gonna do a Stalingrad and just talk about weapons that are already in the game. And for the most part for these weapons, yeah, well, the exception of one, which has been announced with the Pacific. But for the SMGs, I'm going to instead have 2 SMGs, I think, which everyone's been dying to see in Normandy. For the Allies, it's the Drum Mag Thompson with the 50 round drum. Not the 100 round drum Thompson, the 50 drum Thompson. The 100 one will be overkill, I think. Now you might be saying, oh, but what would the Axis have to counter it? Well, first off, they'll have the MP43, but they'll also get their counter, the MP717, which is, of course, the Axis captured PPSH converted to 9mm, I believe, to 9mm Parabellum, I believe. So, essentially, they'll get the PPSH while the Allies get the Thompson. And it will finally put the what's better, PPSH or Thompson debate to bed, I think. So, yeah. I think that they should add those 2 weapons, and those are what I think for the medic class. For the next one, I'm going to go with Engineer 3s. Now, for the Engineer 3s, they obviously need a rifle of some description, and let's just say the Pacific gave us the perfect opportunity for this, the Johnson. Now, obviously the Johnson will have to be reclassified as a rifle, as a semi-automatic rifle for this, but I think they should play this kind of similar to how they are playing the AVT in Stalingrad over the AVT in Berlin. Basically, having the AVT as like the weapon as kind of like it's in this campaign, and it's pretty much used, in this campaign it's used as an LMG, which is what it's going to be used as in the Pacific, probably to combat the Type 11, whereas in Normandy it'll be used to counter the FG-42 spam as a rifle. Now it's going to be kind of similar to the AVT AVS kind of counter that the Soviets have in Berlin. So yeah, I think it would be a good fit here. As for the second weapon, that will have to go to the FG2. Now, I'm gonna say that the FG2, the way that it will be countered is the FG2 will have better recoil. However, the Johnson will have better ammo. Instead of being, the both having 2 extra rounds in reserve, obviously having 1 extra round in reserve, maybe 2. But the difference is that the Johnson will have a 25 mag, whereas the FG-42-2 will only have 220 mags. Now, I do know the FG-42-2 is technically already in Normandy as the sniper pet variants, but come on, we want to see the Johnson. So I think everyone wants to see the Johnson in Normandy. It will at least kind of make Allies' mains kind of be like, oh, we suffer, say a lot. It'll shut them up a lot less. Spoilers, they don't suffer. For the final pick, I'm going to have to go with a pair of tank destroyers, which are both in the game files, but not in the game. Now, for the Allies, it will have to be the Jackson. The M36 Jackson is a very good, it was a pretty good tank destroyer. It's an open top one, so think of it like the M10, but instead of the 76mm that's immediately outclassed by the Sherman, give it a 90mm cannon, give it the ability to basically punch holes into anything that moves, unless of course it's a Stuckery first in Company of Heroes 2, and basically give it, just a lot of power. And I think it will be a perfect counter to what the Axis have, which would be the Jagdpanther. Now, the Jagdpanther will be I think it would basically be a fixed gun versus, maneuverability and camouflage ability and kind of that kind of shit. Either that, or they could also use this as a round of experimentation. Give us something like the mobile half tracks, for example, with the AA guns, or even you can even throw it even more bonkers, add a parachute division as well so instead of the engineers, it could be the Fallschirmjäger division, which has the FG-42 and of course the paratroopers with the LMG, with the Johnson. And I think that would be incredible if they do that, but I don't know if they will do that. So yeah. Other than that, that's really about it, what I've got to say. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments what you guys think of this. So obviously I'm going to go with either medics or, so medics for the first one, and either paratroopers or engineer freeze for the second unlock, and the third unlock being tanks. Or even mobile AA guns. I think both could be very interesting. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Obviously, leave your thoughts in the comments. Join the Discord if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next video.